the chances of an Andy Burnham coronation quickly.
Burnham Andrew Murray, commonly known as Andy Burnham, the Labour and Cooperative Party, 24,927.
We now come to Andy Burnham, member for Makerfield.
Britain is about to change its Prime Minister, again, without an election, without asking you. On 22nd June 2026, Keir Starmer announced he would step down as Labour leader and Prime Minister, triggering a handover that could put a new man in Downing Street by as early as July 17th. No general election, no national vote, just Labour MPs swapping one leader for another while the country watches from the outside. The man almost certain to walk through the door of number 10 is Andy Burnham, former mayor of Greater Manchester, self-styled King of the North, and the sole declared candidate in the 2026 Labour leadership contest. The contest that was meant to be a contest looks more like a coronation. Wes Streeting, considered Burnham's most likely opponent, endorsed him the same day Starmer resigned. Around 200 Labour MPs posed for a photo with him in Westminster Hall. The party has made its choice. Nobody asked you if you agreed. And now the question Britain's mainstream media is dancing around is this: what exactly is Andy Burnham going to do once he gets there? Because the answer, buried under the warm northern charm and the feel-good coronation story, is a policy platform that should leave every taxpayer, homeowner and ordinary Briton genuinely stunned. But before we break it down, let's be honest. The press is treating Burnham's rise as a feel-good moment, the charismatic northerner replacing the stilted technocrat. That framing hides what he's actually promising. That's why British front media exists. Subscribe now for what they won't tell you. Reason number 1, Burnham didn't even have a seat in Parliament when this started, and the whole system was engineered to give him one. Here is the story behind the story. Andy Burnham left Parliament in 2017 to become Mayor of Greater Manchester. Under Labour Party rules, you must be a sitting MP to stand for the leadership. So on the 14th of May 2026, Josh Simons, the sitting MP for Makerfield, resigned his seat specifically to create a vacancy for Burnham to contest. An elected MP gave up his seat so that one specific person could run for Prime Minister. On the 18th of June 2026, Burnham won that by-election with a majority of over 9,200 votes. It was the first time since the 1965 Leighton by-election that a vacancy had been created specifically to allow a non-MP to enter Parliament. Burnham had not even taken his seat before Starmer announced his resignation. He was sworn in and immediately declared his leadership candidacy on the same day. Think about what this means. A constituency MP was removed from post. A by-election costing hundreds of thousands in public money was held, all so that one predetermined candidate could fulfill a destiny already decided by the Labour machine before a single public vote was cast. This was a managed transition, not a democratic one. Reason number 2, his first economic pledge was £40 billion in new borrowing, and the bond markets immediately went haywire. Within weeks of Burnham's candidacy being announced, he had already set out the centrepiece of his economic platform. He backed a £40 billion borrowing programme to build 500,000 council and social homes by 2030, described as the largest state housing intervention since the 1970s. And when asked how you fund £40 billion of new borrowing, Burnham's answer was essentially, stop being afraid of the bond markets. The bond markets responded immediately. When his candidacy was announced in May 2026, the 10-year gilt yield hit 5.137%, its highest level since 2008, while 30-year gilt yields rose above 5.8%, last seen in 1998. Remember what happened when Liz Truss spooked the gilt markets in 2022? Mortgage rates exploded. Monthly payments jumped by hundreds of pounds overnight. That crisis lasted weeks and cost her the premiership. And this is before Burnham is even in the door. The same week he won Makerfield, ONS figures showed the public sector had already borrowed £23.3 billion in May 2026 alone, 30% above the previous year and £5.6 billion above the OBR's forecast. Britain is already borrowing far beyond what was planned. Burnham's response is to borrow £40 billion more. For housing alone, reason number 3, Burnham wants to nationalise water, energy, housing and transport. Every bill lands with the taxpayer. In May 2026, Burnham vowed to put energy, housing, water and transport under stronger public control, if he becomes Prime Minister. He has been explicit about water specifically, saying of Thames Water, "Public ownership is absolutely an option. I would say for Thames Water, that is what should be done." The word nationalisation is being carefully avoided because the last time a Labour leader said it openly, business and the bond markets went into meltdown. But the substance is there. Burnham has outlined a 10-year strategy to bring the water industry into public ownership. He wants to resurrect the scrapped northern leg of HS2, estimated at the time of cancellation to cost £36 billion, a national care service integrated into the NHS, a universal graduate tax, the £2 national bus cap, and the Financial Times noted in May 2026 that the policy platform Burnham was selling was already to the left of what he had actually delivered as mayor, meaning he is promising a more radical version of himself than the one that ever existed. Every single policy costs money Britain does not currently have. Reason number 4. On WASPy women, he made a pledge, broke it within 24 hours, and exposed everything about the kind of leader he will be. This one tells you everything. More than 3.5 million women, the WASPy campaign, have been fighting for compensation after the government failed to properly inform them of changes to the state pension age. The Parliamentary Ombudsman found maladministration and recommended at least £1,000 each, a potential £10 billion commitment overall. Starmer had already refused. It was a live, unresolved wound in British politics. On June 10, 2026, Burnham told a hustings, "I stick by the WASPy women because they deserve some recompense for the unfairness." The WASPy campaign celebrated. Headlines ran everywhere. Within 24 hours, he reversed it entirely, ruling out financial compensation after an angry backlash from Labour MPs. A Labour government figure reportedly said, "He can't say no to anyone." A Starmer ally called the original pledge Corbynite. The 3.5 million women who believed they finally had a champion were abandoned before the by-election had even been held. This is the defining Burnham pattern. Promise something popular, face internal pressure, retreat. He did it on WASPy. He did it on the EU, previously expressing support for rejoining, now ruling out any immediate return. He did it on immigration, previously calling for asylum seekers to have easier access to public funds, then backing the government's restrictive reforms. He shifts to wherever the wind is blowing, every single time. Reason number 5, he is being handed Downing Street without a mandate, and nobody in the Labour Party is asking whether that matters. The UK parliamentary system allows governing parties to change leaders, and thus prime ministers, without a national election. The next general election does not need to be held until 2029. So Britain could have Andy Burnham as Prime Minister for up to 3 years without a single member of the public voting for him in that role. Labour won the 2024 general election on just a third of the national vote share, a landslide in seats but a minority in votes. That thin mandate is now being handed from one leader to another by internal party process. If Burnham remains unchallenged, he could be Prime Minister as early as July 17, 2026, decided by 403 Labour MPs and a handful of trade unions. Meanwhile, Reform UK and the Greens, parties surging in the polls, won their highest gains ever in the May 2026 local elections, while Labour lost control of 35 councils and nearly 1,500 councillors. The country is moving one direction. The Labour Party is installing whoever they like in the other, and ordinary Britain is not consulted. So here is where Britain stands on 25th June 2026. Starmer resigned on 22nd June after losing the confidence of over 100 Labour MPs. Andy Burnham is the only declared candidate, installed through a choreographed by-election in a seat vacated specifically for him. He is promising £40 billion in housing borrowing, nationalisation of water and energy, HS2 North at an estimated £36 billion cost, a national care service, and a £2 national bus cap. He reversed his WASPy pledge inside 24 hours. He backtracked on immigration, the EU, and trans rights whenever the internal party wind changed. He could be in Downing Street by July 17th. No election, no public vote, no mandate beyond what his own party decided to hand him. Britain is being governed by a party that promised change in 2024 and delivered chaos. The answer to that chaos is same party, different face, warmer smile, more recognisable accent, same borrowed money, same unelected transition, same country, Still waiting to be asked. Subscribe to British Front Media.